Well, good morning, First Assembly of God and other friends that might be viewing this video or this Tuesday morning. Word of encouragement and some updates for us as a church. I trust that you're doing well today. And we're in the midst of our second week in our Bible reading through the book of Acts entitled After the Resurrection. And today we're reading in Acts chapter 6, and I want to highlight a portion of two verses for us. In verse number 1, we read that in those days when the number of disciples was increasing. And then over in verse number 7, we read, so the word of God spread, the number of disciples in Jerusalem increased rapidly. And as I read those words, I just have to ask, well, what was it that caused the Jerusalem church in those early days to grow the way they did, to see the number of disciples increasing? And we know there was no big strategy, no tactics, no marketing, no social media. Not that any of those things are bad or wrong or evil, but what we see really is that the church was just being the church. They were worshiping together. They were praying together. The gospel was being preached. The believers were being taught. And they were sharing life together as a community and taking care of one another. And the world around them, the people around them, took note of what was happening there in their midst. There were the miracles, and the miracles often captured the attention of the crowds, and yet we know that the real key to their growth was the fact that the church was being the church. Well, in this time of crisis, when we're kind of separated from each other, we're not able to meet together in our church building like we normally would. I just want to encourage us to consider the fact that although we're separated from each other, that the church can still be the church. And so even as we gather online on Sundays and Wednesdays, we can worship the Lord. The gospel is being preached. We have opportunities to continue to learn, to receive teaching, and most of all, that we would continue to be a community of believers that would take care of one another. I'm so glad to hear the way so many of us in our church body are reaching out to each other and ministering to each other's needs. And so I want to encourage us, as we say at First Assembly, let's worship, let's connect, let's serve, let's grow, even in the midst of this time that we're in. And let's just believe that God will bring the increase. Let the church be the church. Just a few things for me to highlight for us today. I want to encourage you to be faithful in our Bible reading through the book of Acts, and you should be receiving emails on that, or you can go to our website and you can see the readings there. As we lead up to Pentecost Sunday, going through the book of Acts, I want to encourage us to be online Wednesday night at 7:15 for our life-changing prayer service, and also Sunday morning at 10 a.m. But also to invite someone, send them the link, invite them to come to church with you, as it were. Our Operation Blessing is up and running. And if you know someone, especially within our church body, in need, we're here as a church to minister to them, to help them during this time. We don't want anyone to be shy in reaching out to us, whether it's through Operation Blessing or for some other need in their life. So please contact us. Let us know what your needs are. And let's just make sure that we continue to gather together. We have lots of opportunities. Our men's class is meeting online. Our women's class, our intercultural ministry has YouTube teachings that are taking place. Ultimately, though, I want to encourage us, let the church be the church. God bless you.